Hey y'all, welcome back to Babeinlibrary. It's your girl Lisa, and today we're going to talk about my March TBR. In the month of March, I think I'm going to be all over the place. So I just want to preface that now. I mean, I've got some things that are on my hopefuls list, but truth be told, I'm back on my bull because I've done an exceptional job in February. I have read 8 so far. 8 books off of my TBR. And that's a world record for myself. Like, I have never stuck true to a TBR. That doesn't mean that I haven't snuck a few in here and there. That just means that I actually read 8 and then some. Now, in March, I don't think that I can keep up the trend. Like, I think that I'm going to be, like I said, back on bull. And that means that I'm going to be moving and grooving wherever the wind may blow. But I know for sure there are a few books in particular that I will be reading because they are arcs and they are highly anticipated by me. Firstly, the book that I have had in my possession since September of last year. This is the very first ARC copy manuscript that there ever was. The author actually signed this for me, and I'll insert a clip here of me meeting her and her signing this book.
But some of us, no pressure, commentary on how quick or slow you write, could be quicker. Respectfully. I screamed would be the small way to say it at the bookstore when I found out that we were going to get you have a new book coming out, and we do have one bound manuscript that we'll be leaving with somebody this evening. I know. Mm-hmm.
This is very special because this is, again, the manuscript. So she had not even held a copy in her hands. This is the first time she had ever signed it. And so I am indebted and grateful to the people over at Novel Neighbor, as well as Farida, for allowing me to get a copy of this. This is Where Sleeping Girls Lie. It comes out on March 19th. This is a story about a young girl going to boarding school, and she gets there and her roommate comes up missing, later to be found dead. And so this is a murder mystery in which the girl is going undercover trying to figure out who killed her roommate and why. It may or may not be pinned on her, but everyone has secrets. Everyone has some sort of motive or means, and we're going to get down to the bottom of it together. So I am very, very intrigued about reading this. This is the author that wrote Ace of Spades, and obviously that was a slam dunk. So I'm hoping that Where Sleeping Girls Lie will be a two-peat, and I will be able to enjoy this. Now, the next book I'm going to pick up is the first in the series. And honestly, I want to read the entire series, but truth be told, I don't think I'm going to be able to read 6 books back to back. And so, like I said, don't hold me to anything. Don't hold me reading anything on this TBR, but for sure don't hold me to reading or binging the entire series in one sitting. But I for sure want to pick up Brutal Prince, which is the first in Sophie Lark's Brutal Birthright series. This is a mafia dark romance where, at least in this first book, it is arranged marriage. And the two are from rivaling mafia families, and they actually despise each other. And it gets real deep in terms of them trying to off one another, but then they decide to give their marriage a go, and we'll see where it goes. I'm sure this has been running rampant on the internet. I actually have pretty much Sophie's entire backlist on my shelves. So at least I need to start somewhere, and it's told to me that Brutal Prince is the one that I need to start with. So you may or may not get a video from me. If not in March, maybe in April, or maybe just sometime in 2024. But for sure, I need to read this before I see her in a Polycon. So we'll see. Keeping along with the thought process of a Polycon now, I've had this book since it came out, and I think it came out back in like 2011. Now, I didn't have the physical copy. I had a digital copy, which means that I am doubling down because now I have a digital copy and a physical copy. This author will be at a Polycon, and it's time for me to do my due diligence of reading Lord Thalassa's Pestilence. Now, I think I got about 40% of the way, and went elsewhere. I don't know what it was because I was actually enjoying this. This is the first in the Four Horsemen series. This is post-apocalyptic, and back in 2011, which again, I think this is when it came out, we were in our post-apocalyptic phase. Baby, you couldn't tell us that the world was not ending. And now that we are in 2024 and we have lived through some things, I'm wondering how this is going to hit. How much of this is going to be like, ooh, did we already get the first phase? Was you know who or you know what actually the first phase of this? Let's talk about it. Let's see what's happening in this book. So I will be reading Pestilence, seeing how I like the series. I also have War, which is the second, but I know I'm not going to read them back to back. Let me just get one under my belt and see where we go from there. So this is something that I plan on picking up in March. Now, your girl went ham in requesting arcs. Like, someone needs to take the internet away from me, because I don't know how not to be greedy. Like, when we talk about the 7 sins, greed had never been one of my top sins, but apparently I'm a liar as well, because I've been requesting arcs like nobody's business. So speaking of the arcs, I know I already talked about Where Sleeping Girls Lie. I also need to read 2 of my favorite authors this month. Both of them are hitting us back to back with arcs this month, or releases, and your girl is pressed up against a wall. First being Miss Kennedy Ryan. She is dropping the second in the Skyland series, which is going to be Soledad's book. This Could Be Us, and I've heard nothing but amazing things. As you all know, I love, adore, cherish Kennedy Ryan. We must protect her at all costs. And she is the truth. So I will be reading Soledad's book. This has some disability rep, it has autism rep, and to be particular, it has single mother, or actually stay-at-home mother representation. There is so many good things that could be said about Kennedy Ryan that I know I'm going to love this. I believe this may or may not be a 5-star prediction, so we'll see where I go with that. But in a similar fashion, an author that I feel like writes to the level of depth and emotion as Kennedy Ryan is also dropping a release this month. And she has the audacity to drop it on Beyonce's internet on the same day Beyonce is putting out an album. Like, I cannot handle Miss J.L. Seekers. Like, J.L. Seekers knows I'm a stan. Like, baby, I don't have a choice. I'm going to be listening to Beyonce and reading Release Me at the exact same time. Your girl is going to be down bad. Do not attempt to contact me for 24 hours. Actually, make that 48 to 72 hours. And then I need a holding period, because I'm going to be in my emotions. Now, Release Me is the third couple in the New Haven series. And I say couple because we just finished her trilogy in the series, which was Restore Me. And I'm assuming that Release Me is only going to be, it's going to be a standalone. I think she's already mentioned that. But let me tell you, the tropes, you have Toucher and he falls first. Workplace romance. Need I say more? First of all, I said enough already by just saying that it was J.L. Seekers, because the girl can write. Her pen is blessed like the Midas touch. But then I add on all of the tropes that get me going, and I'm going to be there. Don't say anything else. The book actually comes out on March 29th, but I'm hoping to get a copy beforehand, and let that be that. Some other hopefuls, I'll say, is that C.P. Harris is releasing her third in the Infidelity series. Yes, it is called the Infidelity series. It is cheating tropes, so take that as you will. It is a slow burn, and it is called The Caretaker. When I tell you that C.P. Harris can write it and I will read it, that is exactly what's going to happen. That comes out on the 28th of March, and I put in a request for that as well. So, say a little prayer for me that I get all of these arcs and also find the time to read them in, because I'm going to be stretched to capacity, but I'm going to make it happen. Also, another arc that's coming out is Ashley James. You have her cowboy romance, which, if you know me, you know that I've never been a cowboy girl. But again, Beyonce is dropping a cowgirl country music yeehaw fest. And I think that it's time for me to just step into my era and read Dirt Road Secrets. That is a city boy, country boy, male romance that I am dying to get my grubby little hands on. I read the first in the series in January, and I'm ready for Ashley to release it. And she's also dropping an audio, which just lets me know I've got something for my ears in addition to Beyonce. That should be enough. I've got like 50 other things that are probably floating in my mind, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because, again, the onslaught is coming with these books, and I know I'm going to be hopping, jumping, and skipping around. So do me a favor. If you have a new release that's coming out in March that you were excited for, drop that in the chat. If you don't feel like doing that, leave me a cowboy emoji. So leave me a horse, leave me a cowboy hat, leave me something that lets me know that you're excited for the rodeo that is March. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.